Welcome to Ricoma Craft today. I'm so excited. We're going to be doing 3D puff foam on a sweatshirt. And I have Hope Yoder here today with me. I'm so excited over this. And Hope's going to explain about the different types of foam. So go ahead, Hope.
Well, first, thank you for letting me be here in your house, Janet. I watch your videos. They're amazing. If you're here, I know I hear you cheering her on. And I've been in the industry for over 30 years, and we wanted to bring something special. A lot of people want to know how to do the 3D puff foam. But they're really not. There's a lot of things that I see that makers do that aren't the best practices. So number one, if you're working with puff foam, you can't use any designs. You may think you can use any satin stitch design and just stitch right over it, but that's not true. Yeah. What you need is a special design digitized for 3D puff foam. And usually if you're going to purchase those, they're going to say that. Or in Ricoma software, they have some specific dedicated fonts to puff foam. And Janet, when you use your toothpaste at home, do you leave the cap on or off when you're done?
I put it back on.
All right, so capping is what I want to talk about. When you use a design made for puff foam, it's capped underneath the foundation where you can't see. They actually cap off some stitches. So if you were going to use a satin stitch and you thought it would work, it's going to be like squeezing the end of the toothpaste with the foam, with a cap off of it. What's going to happen?
It's just going.
All right, and your foam is going to do that right out of the design. So you need special cap stitches. So it's like Janet, who does it right, she puts the cap on the toothpaste. So just make sure that your design has capping stitches. If that doesn't make sense to you, just make sure it was digitized for foam. You know, another thing that I see, Janet, is, you know, everybody's on a budget. I don't know about you, but I'm not independently wealthy. Are you?
No.
Oh, shoot. I thought she was going to buy me dinner tonight. But a lot of people will cut corners, and they don't realize that it makes a big difference.
It does.
So when you're buying foam, don't go to your big box store or on your big box website and buy craft foam. Puff foam is actually an EPA foam that's soft and it tears clean. So I've got a couple examples. I don't know if they'll see it on camera, but this is a really inexpensive craft foam, and you can stitch over it, but when you tear it away and you heat it up, you get these little pokies that poke out and you can never get rid of them. So by using the wrong foam, you're going to have that. Now this is the right foam. You can even see the difference. One is a lot whiter than the other, but this is a dedicated 3D puff foam made specifically for embroidery, and it's actually a lot softer. Feel those two. Can you feel that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not only is it whiter, it's softer. So if you don't know where to buy it from, you want to buy it from a reputable source that only sells embroidery products. And then you're probably pretty guaranteed, like Madeira, Ganold, Sulky.
Yeah, this is Madeira, and we love Madeira. And I tested this and it works out fantastic. And this is like
so this is, it comes in usually it comes in 3 different millimeters. So the thinnest is 2 millimeters, and then 3 millimeters, and this is the thickest 4 millimeters. But I've actually seen it in 6. Now here's another thing I want you to know. If you want 4 millimeters and you don't have 4 millimeter foam, it's actually okay to do a double layer of it. It doesn't look exactly the same, but to the untrained eye, it's still gonna work good. Now, should I embroider with black thread and use white foam?
No.
You want to match your foam to your thread.
To your thread. I mean, we're using pastel colors today, so white will work.
Right. Close enough is good enough. Yes. But you don't want that high contrast, because when you tear the foam away, depending on the design, it may not have been digitized as good as what we're going to use, and you might see the foam. So like Janet said, we're using pastel, so you can't have multiple colors of foam, so you're going to pick the closest.
Right. And it works. And trust me, it works. And what I don't like about is people will go and get the craft foam, the real thin foam, and they do too, and then they wonder why it doesn't turn out. They think it's in the digitizing, only it's not. It's in the foam. So you gotta use the right kind of foam.
Yeah, another thing with that is too, the same thing with the right kind of foam is how you can tell if you did a good job, in my opinion, isn't what it looks like when it comes off the machine. It's when you've washed it several times.
Good.
And the craft foam cracks and it just disintegrates, especially in the dryer. And so the embroidery 3D puff foam won't do that because it's made to withstand the test of time. So the tools we're going to be using today are Janet's and my favorite, the Mighty Hooping Station. We're going to need a heat gun. A hair dryer doesn't work very well. So later on you'll see us using a heat gun. We're using polyester thread from Madeira, our favorite. And we're going to use 4mm white craft foam, right? And
yes.
We're going to use 2 layers of cutaway stabilizer. Did I forget anything?
Nope, that's great.
I bet you they're dying to see how this works.
I am, because I've already tested this out and I love this design. And you can get the design, the link below. You can buy the lettering and you can see it below in the link. At the end, you could purchase these letters and create all the puff that you want to do in the letters, because I'm really excited about this. Now we're going to show you how we're going to do this. We're going to take our Mighty Hoop and we're using the 8x13 and it just slides right in here, and we got this already done, and 2 layers of cutaway in here, and I'm just putting this in here. And these snaps in, I'm getting it in here, and it snaps. And this is great because it holds my stabilizer in while we put the sweatshirt on.
So one thing too is, Janet and I were talking before we went live, you could absolutely embroider this with 1 layer of cutaway. But remember a second ago I said it really matters what it looks like after you've washed and dried it several times. So for that reason, because the foam does have a little weight to it, we're using 2 layers of cutaway. If you use 1 and it looks great, wait and see what it looks like after you washed it. So in this case, 2 is better than 1. And for a sweatshirt, usually you can put placement wherever you want, but what do you do, Janet? Maybe like 4, 5 fingers down?
Yeah, 5 fingers
You know,
down.
that's like that's like politics. People will tell you, no, 10 fingers down, 5 fingers down.
Well, I don't want to go across bullseyes.
You don't want to show off the family jewels.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to thread this on just like it was meant to do. And what I like about this is we've got a center mark here, and we want to make sure the seam of the shoulder seams are up and that it flows evenly. And Janet, how would we make sure that this is in the center? So should we mark it first? What do you do? Because you're a pro.
Usually I will mark it. I mean, we're just eyeballing it today. I'm sorry. I mean, most of the time I do take a ruler and mark it down the middle. And I can go by the tag in the back. See the tag? And I know it's in the center with the tag right here. And so I'm feeling the hoop, and I feel like it's great because it's right there.
I think we'll go with it. If it's crooked, the viewers will forgive you because you're Miss Janet.
Oh, they will know. Okay, I'm just going to drop this like it's hot potato, and it's already hooped, and it's in the center. And then I just lift up on it and take it off. Now we're ready to take it to the machine.
It's like magic. All right, let's go to the next step.
Okay, I'm putting the 8x13 on, and here it clicks there, and I'm reaching my hand underneath here to make sure it's not getting caught. And it's right over top of the throat plate, the arm. So it's great. Now, Hope, will you do a trace for me?
All right, before we do a trace, I want to show you on the design, we're going to go in, we have it all set up like you should, but we put a pause. We're going to stitch Aloha, and that is not foam. That's just straight embroidery. So after Aloha is done, I need the machine to automatically stop, and that's called a pause on the Creator. So right here, I touch color 1 and pause, and we've already done that. We've already assigned the colors, so we'll stitch Aloha, the machine will pause, and then Janet and I will show you how to put the foam on. So we've done that already. I'm gonna go back to home, and we wanna make sure that it doesn't collide with the foot. And as you know from Janet's great videos, that it's always gonna trace on needle 1, and you can hold that down a little bit. We wanna make sure this foot doesn't collide on any side, and especially look in the back. All right, ready? So I'm gonna hit trace, and for me, you can trace the area or the design. And since this is rectangular, we'll just do trace area.
And by the laser light, it really shows up and everything. I still like to hold the foot down just in case, because this is a big design, and I'm just gonna hold this down and just do trace design. And I hold the foot down, and it also goes to needle 1.
Yeah, and again, I want to caution you, this design isn't as wide, it's longer than it is wide, but if it was wide, a lot of times the foot can hit the back of the mighty hoop because it's a little, it dips out in the back. Perfect. All right, ready? So I have it locked, and I'm gonna push and hold till it spins, and we're off to the races. Remember, this first part is not foam. We're getting ready to put the foam on. We did Aloha, which we've designed to go underneath the foam. And a little tip before Janet shows us the next step is we did cut this foam so that it'll lay flat in the hoop. So it's slightly smaller than the hoop, and we did round the corners just so it will lay flat. So Janet, how are you gonna put that in there?
Well, I'm just gonna lay it in here, and it is a little bit bigger. I like to use just a paper tape, and I just take it and put it up here at the top and let it kind of lay it in on each side, and this way it just holds it in place. And then I don't have to worry about it, even though it's bigger than what the design is. I mean, it's okay. And I like it how because once it starts embroidering, it will just embroider.
Yeah, it kind of tacks itself down. One thing you don't ever want to do if you're new to embroidery is put your hands underneath there. So that's why Miss Janet is saying to tape it. And save all your scraps. You never know when you're going to test something.
And I've used tweezers.
I love it. I have shish kebab sticks, giant shish kebab sticks.
Yeah.
But whatever, just don't get your hand under there. So now that that's taped in, we're ready to rock and roll. All right.
Hear that music? It's done.
Ta-da!
So I'm going to take it off and put it on the table so we can remove the foam.
That looks so good. Look at that. Jeez.
I'm so excited over this. So I keep it in the hoop for right now.
It's like an extra pair of hands.
Yes. And with the mighty hoop, it keeps it tight, and so it's easier to remove. So different people does it different ways. It's okay, whatever you're comfortable with. This way I found out it's better for me. And so I just get a hold of it, and I just put my finger down on the letter, and I just rip it.
I want some of that action here.
Yeah. Both of us.
Let's have a race. We're off to the races. And don't worry about what's inside. We can go back and get that later. Right now, you're just doing the perimeter. All right.
Look at that. Okay. And now I'm just going to do the E. See how easy that was to get out? Because it held it tight.
I love it. You know, this looks so good like it is, but when you finish puff foam, there's one more step that we haven't told you about yet. And look how cool this looks when we did this in the background. The Aloha with no foam, and then the beaches with the foam. All right, so what's the next step, Janet?
I'm going to remove this hoop. Thank you. And I'll put this on top. Cockeyed. It's easier to use. And then we have a heat gun here. And what we're going to do is heat these up. Now be careful because you don't want to melt your thread. So you just go over it and that foam will shrink in a little bit and you won't see the little pokies.
Yeah, but again, I'm biased because this is my design, but that design looks pretty darn good without even heating it up. So that's a word of caution. If you're using a file that was designed for digitizing and you see a lot of the foam, maybe the file may not have been the best digitized because it should look pretty clean. Yeah, all right, well, let's try it. So we're gonna do this.
See, it's going in.
And another thing I like to do is I will just take my fingernail over that too. So and we can do the rest off camera, but just you can see that these two are a little neater than down here. And so that's gonna shrink the foam just a little bit so that the thread gives it full coverage. I like to say it's like makeup. Some women wear BB cream. I like full coverage. And so
yes,
this kind of just makes everything look a little bit better. And then the last step, which we won't bore you with on camera, is trimming the cutaway. And that's
just
it.
cut away.
Wash and wear.
And I just love this, how it turned out. I really hope you liked this video. I sure did. I love working with puff and it's so enjoyable, and I love Hope Designs. These are really good, these letters, and I can't wait to try them out on a hat. Please like, share, and comment on this video.
Yeah, subscribe, you guys, and we'll see you here next time at the same craft channel.
Ricoma Craft.